Hi, welcome to the A Quilting Life podcast. I'm Sherri McConnell from A Quilting Life.
And I'm Chelsi from Chelsi Stratton Designs.
And today's episode is airing on Monday, August 12th, which is actually back to school for Chelsi's children and all of my grandchildren, actually.
Yeah, all of them are.
Yeah.
Even the youngest one is
doing a little preschool.
Yeah, a little preschool thing.
Yep.
So
very exciting day, as those of you who count down the days for this day in your area know.
Oh, you mean Candace's kid?
Yes.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
I thought Finn was going into like third grade or something.
he thinks he is. It's second, but
okay.
he's taking it very seriously.
Yeah, no, but Laurel's going to be in school too.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I didn't know. I just found out actually that she was going to do a little thing. So
Yes. So actually, Chelsi has the quilts, but before that, we do want to talk about Cozy Earth. We did receive a lovely shipment of towels from them, and I kind of there were two different colors. There was a whole set of washcloths, hand towels, bath towels, and bath sheets in white, and then there was another identical set in gray charcoal.
Yeah.
Yes. So I kind of split my set with Billy so that he would have some, and Chelsi got the white set, and my husband and I love the towels, love the washcloths, love the hand towels, but these two both have the bath sheets. So
Yes.
Take it away, Billy, because we both have fun stuff to say.
Yeah. So the type of towels that they sent were the Luxe bath towels and sheets. And if you don't know what a bath sheet is, it's essentially like a beach towel. It's really long.
Yeah.
It's very big. At first when I got it, I'm like, what's a bath sheet? And I was like, oh, it's like a beach towel.
Me too. I Googled it.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, so it's big, and I've been using it over the last week since my mom gifted me that and the washcloths. And so these towels from Cozy Earth, they're made from 60% cotton and then 40% viscose from bamboo. So sort of a mixture of both, but very soft, very absorbing of the water and everything. And yeah, the size, actually I've never had a bath towel that big before, and I like it. And I think Chelsi was saying that her husband agrees, right?
I like that you're like, I like it. Yes. So my husband, same thing this morning, the bath sheets got brought up and Billy was like, oh, Mason likes them too. That was like the first thing he said. My husband was like, this towel's large enough for me to use. It's huge. And he loves it. And so he has been very excited about it. And if you know my husband, he's not super
Emotionally expressive.
Yeah, emotionally expressive. He's just really monotone.
Chill.
And, he's very chill. And he was very excited about these. So he loves them.
Yeah. So we recommend them. They're the Luxe. They have other types of towels. They have the waffle towels. They have some other ones on there. But these ones are the Luxe. And yeah, very, very comfortable, very soft. And they do the job. So everything, though, the sheets, all the clothing products and everything like that, if you want to get a discount through our podcast, there's a link in the description you can click, and that will give you, in this month, in August, 40% off anything on the site. Or you can use the code Quilting Life when you check out. Select our podcast as where you got the code, and that will also give you that 40% off for the month of August. So those are a couple new products that we can talk about now. We like them, but everything we've had from there has been great. And you can go to cozyearth.com to look at the other things they have.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so I guess we'll turn it over to Chelsi now because she has quilts on the wall and on the table. So excited to hear her share about these.
I am ready, you guys. I am so excited to have quilts. Finally. It's been a long time coming.
And I'm working on the binding. I am working on the binding. This one is machine stitched. I need to hand stitch it. This one I've pieced it. I just need to.
Okay, but you need to give yourself a ton of credit, you guys. I went on a vacation. I took my husband down to Houston, and my mom watched all of my kids for 4 days. It was a lot. So she I don't care if you get these done by Christmas, whatever. Okay, so on the wall, we have Sunshine Village. I love this quilt so much. It is Fat Eighth friendly. And the reason I love it is you get to use all the low volumes in this quilt too. So, and you get to see them, like there's large chunks of them
Right.
in the house block. So 2 different house blocks, one large, one small. The smaller has a star in it. And I love the quilting that Marion Bott did. Very, very cute. It's something that she has not done on one of my quilts before. So cute. It's almost like patchwork. Do you see that?
I love this design.
Yeah, like
it is
patchwork.
so cute. Alternating
cute.
with the little
Yes.
daisies in the
Daisies
boxes.
and patchwork.
Yeah,
It
really
is so cute. And then I just have to give a big thanks to Tammy Vonderschmidt. She used to work for Moda. She is incredible, and she pieced this quilt for me. Love her. And she actually has pieced another quilt for me that you guys will see soon.
Yeah.
She is wonderful. So thank you to Tammy and Marion. So love Sunshine Village, Fat Eighth friendly. On the table, we have Anthem, and this is one of my bigger block quilts. It's one that also shows off the low volumes and color combos, which you know I love to do. I don't know if you remember my Sunshine Girl quilt from Strawberry Lemonade, but this kind of gives me the same vibes because I get to use multiple fabrics and pair them together. But it's fat quarter friendly and a little bit bigger block. The quilt measures 81.5 inches square. And yeah, borders on this one. Guys, I'm getting so good with borders. I'm adding print
You're adding borders.
I am so proud
Yeah.
of myself. I'm taking baby steps.
Yeah.
But so Anthem, fat quarter friendly, Sunshine Village, fat eighth friendly. And if you want to purchase these patterns, they're available, linked in the description of this video, paper and PDF. And I did have questions. The paper patterns are ready to ship. So somebody had asked me, are these like ready to ship right now? And they have been like this whole time. So
Yes.
ready to ship.
Yeah. I do have one thing I want to share too. I have
so
it on the
cute.
table. So this is a pincushion. It's a Dresden pincushion with a magnetic needle minder in the center. And
It's magnetic.
it's magnetic. And then this is a little scrap bin. And this was made for me by Terry from Curry Bungalow. And I love her cute little labels on the back. I sent her the Raspberry Summer fabrics. And I've had her make them before and we've shared them here on the podcast. But because she has this darling Dresden pattern, I had to have it in this collection because we have the Dresden cheater print.
That's why.
So I used the Dresden cheater print on the inside of the basket, and it's also on there's like a little cement tile that holds it. So this thing is not going to move.
It doesn't go anywhere.
And Terry's
It'll stay.
work is just so beautiful. We will link to her Etsy shop. She does sell the patterns if you want to make your own, but then she also sells pre-made pincushions and thread catchers. And she did have some Strawberry Lemonade ones available. I'm not sure if those have sold yet, but I know she is also going to have some Laguna Sunrise options available. So if you are interested in one of those, you can message her on Etsy and try to reserve it or, see what her policy is on that. But I know she's going to have some Laguna Sunrise options really soon in that collection. Will actually be shipping next month.
Which blows my mind.
Yes.
I feels like Laguna Sunrise was yesterday. It's
know.
really, really crazy. This summer went by really, really fast. I just felt like we were busy this summer. And then with Raspberry Summer
Yeah.
Raspberry Summer coming out, it just kind of has transitioned us into fall. But I do want to say I use this.
Yes.
Like I
gave you one, right?
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
two.
Yes. Okay.
I have two, and one of them I just keep, cute on a shelf. But the other one, and I actually use it too. Sometimes I forget to empty my basket, and I'm over here throwing stuff in the other basket. But one is right next to my sewing machine, and I am constantly using it. So It is helpful and it's cute.
And beautiful. Yeah.
And we love things that are useful and cute, guys.
Yeah. I have one on my cutting table, one on where my sewing machine is. I actually have one on my other work table because you just always need a place to dump threads or little fabric scraps. And I'm going to take one downstairs and put it.
You should put mints in one.
Where I sew. Oh, that's a good
or
idea.
little
Treats.
Candies.
You could have treats in.
Yeah, and then my kids would be,
good idea.
ooh, Grandma has treats. Let's check all the baskets.
Yes. Okay, but yes, a big thank you to Terry from Curry Bungalow. She's just phenomenal.
Okay, so I will go into our listener quilts section now, and we have some good ones here today, and we have some ones that have been shared frequently. I don't know if it's because, well, one of them, I think it's because the So Long finished up not too long ago, and people's, and again, these emails come from a couple months back, but this one is another one of Chelsi's Hearts at Home quilts, and this is from Jill. She says, "Congratulations on your wedding and blessings on your marriage," to me. Our youngest daughter got engaged in February with the wedding in June, and my husband did the same thing. I knew I wanted to make them a quilt. I had Chelsi's Hearts at Home quilt pattern and showed it to my daughter and asked if she liked it. She said, "I do." I took that as a yes, not that she was practicing her vows. Next came the colors. Rebecca and Bailey sent me colors they liked: blueberry, blue, burgundy, darker green, golden yellow, and rust orange. I found similar colors with Kansas Troubles and ordered jelly rolls and backings in their new fabrics. I called Kansas Troubles to get their advice on what color thread to use for piecing the blocks, and she was told that they used Aurifil 2326, so that's what she used. She decided to use 2 fabrics in each heart, and then all the hearts would match, also symbolizing 2 hearts becoming one. So that's sort of neat.
Oh,
and she did
goodness.
send an up-close picture of the block. So they're
And
similar
it's
colors, but they're
super-
different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Super, super cute.
My husband
I
helped
loved
me with figuring out how many blocks I would need to fit in a queen-size bed. I was amazed how quickly it went together. I dropped it off at the Oakley Quilting Supply in Oakley, Minnesota on March 21st. After I got it back, I put a Scrappy binding and label on it, and it was ready for gifting by May. A good friend made the quilt label for me. This was my first log cabin quilt, and it was so much fun from start to finish. So she said she was a little concerned about what the quilting would look like, but they used lighter thread on top and a matching navy thread on the back. She said, I was so pleased with the results. And then, she shared these pictures with us. So she said, "Thank you for all you, Sherri and Chelsi, do to help encourage us. You all are so appreciated."
Oh my goodness.
From Jill.
Thank you.
And it is so pretty. And I think that's the perfect gift.
Oh, yeah.
Like it
With
really.
the hearts for a wedding. Yes.
Yeah. And I like that, the symbolism with the 2 hearts. But the different, I like that
2
a
different
lot.
fabrics matching.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, really, really cool. Great job. Congratulations to your daughter
Yes.
on her marriage as well. 2024 is a good year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good year for weddings, guys.
Okay, so the next one, again, we've had quite a few of these Magnolia or Miss Magnolias, so this is another Miss Magnolia.
So many of them.
And dear Sherri, Chelsi, and Billy, I wanted to share my latest Quilting Life quilt. My Miss Magnolia quilt was made with strawberry lemonade, and I decided to add 2 pillows using orange peel applique. Your podcast is one of my favorites, and I am excited each time one is available. It is great company while I'm sewing, most of the time sewing one of your quilts using your fabric. My home is decorated with several of your quilts, and several have been given as gifts. Thank you for your uplifting and positive podcast and for your creative patterns and fabrics. Keep them coming. That's from Sharon.
Well, thank you.
I love seeing that quilt being made. Both Magnolias, Miss Magnolia and Magnolia. I just love that block. And I thought it was really, really pretty.
It was so striking with the bright colors.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
So thank you, Sharon. Very great job there too. Okay, and then this last one, yes, is the Heart of the Home, and we talked about this last time. That's from the magazine. That's going to have a new name soon, right?
Yes, because I am getting that pattern ready right now, and super excited to be able to have it as a standalone pattern, especially for shops who maybe want to kit it with the new strawberry lemonade
Yeah.
release. And also it would look great in Laguna Sunrise or Raspberry Summer.
Yeah.
So be great for shops to have that option for their kits, just a
Yeah,
pattern.
you should mock up images in Laguna Sunrise.
I have the wall hanging in Laguna Sunrise that I need to get finished now, that I started when the
good.
sew along started. That's one of my top things I was going to talk about in a few minutes, was to finish that version
Yeah.
so people can see it.
So this is from Patty. I'm going to tell you Patty's last name at the end here. I usually don't say people's last names, but I will today. I finished the American Patchwork and Quilting quilt along using Bountiful Blooms. I did not have enough fabric to do a one fabric border, so I made strip sets and cut them at 30 inches to make a slanted border. I made mine queen size to go on our bed. I absolutely love this pattern, and thank you. And that's from Patty McConnell.
Yeah, I've seen.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, you know who she is?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Billy is like all excited.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
And we've seen that name before.
Yes,
So, yes.
yes.
Thank you,
Thank
Patty.
you, Patty.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
love Billy's face right now. He's like, oh, you already know.
already know who she is.
He got so excited.
It's sort of
It's still
I think
exciting.
I'm telling you something that you don't know and you already know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Yeah, Mom and I have a lot of conversations like that. She'll
Yeah.
be like, oh my goodness, did you hear this? And I'm like, I knew it 48 hours ago. I already know.
Don't see a ton of McConnells come through.
You
It's
don't.
not, it's not as
It's
common
not
of
a
a name.
super
You
common name.
do not
Yeah.
at all.
So those are this week's listener quilts. Thanks again for all the submissions. Appreciate those. And then, so we wanted to kick off the rest of the episode. We wanted to start because, as my mom mentioned at the very beginning of this podcast, when this comes out, it is the first day of school, at least here in Southern Nevada. I know other places of the country might be today. It might be soon to be. But yeah, so maybe just like a quick, as far, it's not, summer's not over. Summer's not over till
No.
September 20th. But I guess if you do have kids, summer's pretty much over as soon as they go back to school, because then summer break and the actual summer season are two different things for parents. But why don't you go ahead and wrap up your summer as far as that's concerned, and what you're looking forward to upcoming in this fall.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go first because I got to talk about my kids. I love having summer with the kids. It's always so fun because we need that time. But then when school is about to start, it is time. It is really time, because the school is sending out messages like, oh, this is school supply list, or this or that. These are your teachers. The kids get really excited. I just love the routine that school brings back.
Right.
Because towards the end of summer, you start losing your routine a little bit. And so with my work, of course, I am choosing my kids because I have this time with them. And so work has kind of been like, I've been just trying to get things done that I can. And I'm actually I feel pretty proud of myself because quilts are done.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy about that. But no, it just is good for them because it gets them in a schedule. Not that it's not busy, like things are going to be happening for all my kids, soccer and basketball and all these things. But I love when I have a schedule, like I drop them off, they go to school, and I have that window to work, because when they get home, it's kids and dinner and all those things. I don't work when they're home. So this is better for me because it's more of a set schedule.
Right.
Whereas summer is very, okay, well, we were planning on doing this in the morning. I'll just do 2 hours of work in the afternoon, or stay up really, really late and do all my emails. And my husband, even the other night, was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I have this many emails that have to go out tonight.
Yeah.
And it's got to get done, or else my day tomorrow is not how I want it to
Right.
look. So
Yeah, I really was, because as Chelsi also mentioned earlier, I did have the kids for a full 4 days, day and
How
night,
was it?
96 hours. And I was just amazed. I'm like, how does Chelsi get done what she gets done? Because
Thank you.
I feel like, you wake up and it's breakfast, and we did a lot of swimming while they were here, but that meant that I was sitting outside
Watching them.
And
Yeah.
man, it was hot out there. And so then,
trooper.
reapplying the sunscreen and making
She's
sure they
such a
were
good grandma.
and then, lunch and then go back outside. And then everybody has to have a shower. And then, then it's time for dinner.
And then they're bored.
Well, luckily for us, the Olympics were on. So we did,
Oh,
we
yes.
did get some good
Yeah.
Olympic viewing time. And that was something that all of Chelsea's children were really interested in. I have to say they were super easy. You just can't get anything done. There was
Yeah.
one.
They're good kids.
Yeah, there was one time when I had to do a Zoom meeting with my Patreon group, and I just told them, like, guys, I just need 1 hour in my sewing room with the door shut, and then it's back to grandma time.
Imagine
So-
my kids like in that one viral video that went on the internet with that girl that walked in on the guy having a business meeting.
yes.
Imagine my kids like running into your Patreon group.
Yeah, no, they were fine, and we really didn't do they didn't get on the computer ever.
No, I was so
pretty
happy.
excited about that.
Not too many video games,
Yeah.
hopefully.
And we did have some healthy smoothies and fruit plates, and
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
My kids are so spoiled.
they did have pizza one day, but Oh, funniest thing.
Oh, this is the best. I know what she's going to say.
Chelsea's little boy.
There's this cute little restaurant in our town.
Yes. And so one night we decided to take them out, just to get out of that. We hadn't left our house except to take them to church for 4 days. So we went out to this restaurant and he was giving me his order. And when the order came, he was looking at everything and he was, saying, this is from the meat group. And then he pointed to the sauce that he was going to, I think,
It was
ketchup, yeah, and dip his fries in. And he said, and this is from the sauce group.
And if you know my son, he's 8 now. He just had a birthday from
When you listen to this.
Yeah, when you listen to this, he just had a birthday.
Yeah.
And he is the funniest kid. Like, he always has something to say and always has something really quick to come back with.
Yes.
He's a funny kid.
So, yeah, it's just kind of been a family joke. Oh, this is in the sauce group.
This is the sauce group,
right?
you guys.
We all need the sauce group on our
Let's
food
add it.
pyramid.
Yeah, we need to add it to the food pyramid.
Yes. But in fact, yesterday I got my hair done and I was telling my hairdresser, I don't even know how you do it all. Like,
Yeah.
there is so much to do when you are home with your kids in the summer.
Yeah.
So
It's going to be good. I have a lot of things in upcoming podcasts I'll talk about. I've already done a little bit of organizing in my sewing room and it's going to be good. I cleaned out my closet actually.
oh, good.
There are still things I noted. Oh, this box I still have to go through, but I know what's in each box now.
Oh, that's good.
And
And you made a list
Yeah, I
of
made
what
a
you want to
list.
do in the fall.
yeah, because I knew I wouldn't have time to completely deeply organize each box or organizational box, but I knew if I wrote down what was in each one, it would just help later on. And so that was very good. I was able to get rid of some things and I have things I know I want to donate or whatever.
I did enlist, I don't know if I told you this, Chelsea's oldest daughter while they were here.
Did she work for you?
Well, she helped me sort scraps.
Oh, good. She never told me that.
Yes. And it was because she thought she wanted her own room one night instead of sleeping. All the kids were in one room. And she thought she wanted her own room. Well, I had all of the sewing stuff in there from when we did photography in my
Yeah.
sewing room that I hadn't really gone through. And I didn't want to move it so she could sleep in there until I went through it. So I said, if you help me organize these scraps. So she did.
You gave her something to work for.
Couple
That is so
hours,
good.
She helped me, look for pieces that were big enough to save. And yeah.
This is funny. This room, I walked into this room 3 weeks ago while Mom was still working on blockheads. It was crazy. It was when you were on vacation
Yeah,
for your
it's
birthday.
all clean now.
Oh wow, we can
Thanks.
take pictures in there again.
Yeah, we can take pictures
Oh,
in there
cool.
again. Yes.
Yeah. I am ready to, I guess bottom line is I am ready to get back into a schedule and organize and sew. And it's been a good year. I feel like I'm ready though. But
Yeah. No, same. I feel like, the beginning of the summer, I did have this goal to get all of my raspberry summer sewing done by July 1st, and I did.
You are incredible for that.
Like you, I had someone make 2 of my quilts.
Yeah.
But I had a little jump start because one of my patterns was a bag pattern, and I actually had that done as soon as the strike-offs came back.
Yeah,
because I had to photograph that.
The strike-offs
were utilized.
They were utilized.
Yes. And
Mom is super good about that. She can take I always just give her the strike-offs when they get here because...
Well, and yeah, that was the only way to have a picture of that in the catalog was to make the bag, because I can't do a digital image of a bag to save my life.
You have to make it.
Yeah. So, that being said, I didn't have as much to do, but I did meet my goal. And then once I got the raspberry summer sewing done, I really set to work finishing my Moda Blockheads quilt, and we can pop up a picture. I'll give Billy a picture. I did a king size quilt with my Moda Blockheads, and I did take the Dresdens from our raspberry summer collection, and I used them in place of some of the 6-inch blocks in the setting. So shop owners, that's a fun thing you can do with that Dresden cheater print. I don't know if Chelsi did it intentionally, but it is designed
I didn't
perfectly for substituting.
Thank you. Of course I designed it on purpose.
Yes. So, but yes, and I do have a setting for that will show you how to put it together like I did, that you can download for free, and we'll have a link to that as well. That I'm just so excited. It's actually on my bed now. Billy and Chelsi were talking about for another podcast we're going to tape. Oh, maybe you should put that on the wall. And I'm like, no, it's 94.5 by 108.5. It won't go on the wall.
I texted her. I said, hey, could we, in this next podcast, because it's a special one.
Right.
Could we just put something neutral on the wall that isn't
your pattern?
Yeah,
my pattern.
because I wanted to wait for the next podcast to put new quilts on the wall.
Right.
And she texts back with laughing emojis. I thought she was mocking me. She goes, that is not going on the wall. And I thought, oh, is the Blockheads quilt above being on the wall? And then I realized before you texted back, I thought, oh, that thing is probably giant. And then she texted me the size, and I was like...
And I sent a picture of it on my bed.
It's not going on the wall at all. It really is. It physically cannot.
Yeah, that was a really great accomplishment, I feel like, for me for this summer, to really put the pedal to the metal and get that completed. Yes, really excited about that. And then I also had this Scrappy half square triangle sew along going on. I started that, I think, back in April, because it was a 12-week thing where I shared block layouts each week. There's a pattern you could buy if you wanted it all at once with 2 different setting options. But there was also a free option available where you could just get the layouts. And so I designed a new setting for that and got that done and finished.
She said that one's allowed on the wall.
Yeah, that one's going on the wall for our special podcast for next time. Yes. So I got that done. And then actually, like you, I've just been really starting to make a good list of what I want to do now, because we're not going to have sample yardage for a collection for a few months. We just did actually finish up a collection, so it'll be off to the mill soon. But
so we could see yardage for that
I think before the end of the year.
Before the end of the year, I hope.
But I really do feel like September, October, I'll be sewing. Well, for sure the rest of August and all of September.
What are you going to be sewing?
Just works in progress that I want to finish. And
I was going to say, because we have kind of this lull. Actually, I'm not going to say the word lull. I'm just going to say we don't get new yardage, like you said, for a few months.
Right. So I think we should both make our swell Christmas.
Should we do it together?
Santa, we should do that.
Should we film about it?
Yeah, we should do that.
You could bring your kit. We could show
I can get my fabric and my panel. We should do that.
Do you want to do a project together?
Yeah. We can keep each other accountable after the kids start school.
I think I will be really accountable with you, because you keep me in line.
Okay.
Okay, guys, I think this is a thing.
Yeah, I'm going to gather my stuff. So first
let
step,
me-
gather it.
Okay, gather it.
Yes.
That's the first step.
That's the first step.
I do want to say, though, that's why I asked what you're going to be sewing, because for me, because we already finalized a fabric collection that'll be showing next spring-ish, I actually have a couple collections to design.
Right.
So from when we're filming this, when you're viewing it, it's the first day of school. I'm designing right now.
Yeah.
I have 2 collections that are due. We also are going to Quilt Market, so we have that to look forward to. That's the end of October. We will be bringing probably some Laguna Sunrise, but Raspberry Summer will be what
the focus of the booth.
The focus of the booths.
Yes.
And after that, it's just kind of waiting for yardages. So it might be nice to do the Santa quilt. I have hung on to that for years.
Yes, we need to do that.
Swell Christmas came out a very long time ago, and I snatched a Santa kit. And
we need to do that. That'll be fun for this fall.
do it because it scares me to do the panel part.
Oh, okay.
Because you're literally putting I don't.
Yeah.
It's going to be great to have Mom because she'll look at the pattern and be like, oh, this is so easy. So,
well, I was at a retreat once and several women were making that. So I
you
did
saw
get to
kind of
watch how they were doing it.
Okay.
And if I can't remember, I know who to call to ask.
Who you going to call?
So, yes, because Jennifer Keltner made that.
Jennifer Keltner.
So I can call Jennifer. I can call Lisa Alexander. She's done one. So, yeah, I have definite people I can call to
Can we also do this to where we can have it quilted in time for Christmas?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to, I'm all for, I actually really am a huge believer in you should sew during Christmas.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yes.
But I also think you should have a project that's very
That's ready.
That's ready so that you can be like, oh, this is new for this year.
We should try to get this done before Quilt Market because
You're stressing me
after
out.
Quilt Market, is that stressing you out?
No,
okay, by Thanksgiving.
Wait. Yeah, could we do it by Thanksgiving?
By Thanksgiving.
But I don't know. August is my design month. And then after that, maybe September would be good.
Yeah.
Because then my daughter starts more competitive basketball in October.
Right.
In November.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, no, so that's going on my list for sure. And then I also am really going to finish my village quilt by the end of this month.
Wait, is that the tiny houses?
The little houses. I'm going to finish it, yes. I was waiting for Raspberry Summer. At first I was going to finish it with Laguna Sunrise, and then I was like, no, I need Raspberry. Raspberry Summer was our 20th collection. It's just a round number.
Yeah.
I want all 20 collections referenced in that quilt.
I have to say something to the viewers and listeners. I think it's really funny that you guys almost get to see us have a meeting on the podcast sometimes.
A business meeting.
Sorry, guys.
And Billy's probably just like, what?
He's literally sitting over here just hanging out because we're literally having a meeting. So this is reality TV. This is you get to see inside our lives.
Yeah, this really is how we have meetings.
So thank you for bearing with us as we sit here and we're like, yeah, oh my gosh, do you want to sew this?
Yes.
Yay! Put it on the calendar.
Yeah, but no, looking forward to fall, looking forward to things cooling down here.
All right, so I'll jump into the second topic I have here on the outline. And I came up with this, I sort of went down a rabbit hole yesterday and trying to come up with something that we haven't really discussed before. And so I text my mom and sister and I asked them, hey, have you ever read, I noticed there's quite a bit of fiction novels, and I know you guys both like to read and everything. I know Chelsi does read fiction. I asked if they had read any, and the one I came across, the series, and I'm sure quite a few of our listeners have heard of these, are the Elm Creek Quilt books, the Elm Creek Quilts book series, by Jennifer
Chiaverini.
Yeah, Chiaverini.
Wow,
Okay.
I didn't know about this.
I think that was the first one here I saw. It came out in 1999, and 22 books in the series. So I was just curious if either of you had ever read any of those.
Yeah, and I messaged back. I have probably read 10 or 12 of them.
Oh,
maybe
that's more than you let on
Oh,
I thought maybe you read like one or two.
They're all on the bookshelves out here. I've got a lot. In fact, I think I might have one that I never read that was more recent. But
what is it about?
So it's about quilters, and a lot of them are kind of historical fiction intertwined in it too. So, but women that meet at a house and quilt, and kind of what's going on in their lives, and all different stories. And
do you want me to read you the description, Chelsea, of the first one? Okay, so here it is, because I have it up on my computer. After moving with her husband Matt to the small college town of Waterford, Pennsylvania, Sarah McClure struggles to find a fulfilling job. In the meantime, she agrees to help 75-year-old Sylvia Compson prepare her family estate, Elm Creek Manor, for sale. As part of her compensation, Sarah is taught how to quilt by this cantankerous elderly woman who is a master of the craft. So that's the first book. Who is a
master of the craft.
How it starts.
Yeah.
Because she learns how to quilt and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Okay, this is so funny.
I thought about this after too. There is another author, and she writes some books that aren't quilting based too, but she wrote several quilting based fiction books that I really loved. And her name is Sandra Dallas. And really have several of her books that I just really loved too.
Yeah.
So.
And in the description of the author here of Jennifer
Chiaverini.
It says
Mom is like Chiaverini.
The series is acclaimed historical fiction. So I mean, I don't know what exact time period it starts in and where it goes through, but it's historical fiction. So okay, so you've read a good amount of them.
Oh yeah,
then.
Probably a dozen.
Okay.
I'd have to go count on my shelf. But,
and as you read them, is she a quilter? Like, does she describe different things about quilting that you're like, okay, this is written by a quilter. This isn't somebody just making things up.
No. And I feel like she even came out with a pattern book at one point with, I think it might have been C&T Publishing published, the Elm Creek Quilts.
Really?
A book of patterns, yeah.
Well, I want to write a fiction book with quilting. And I'm going to do a rom-com, a romantic comedy book, where the female main character is a quilter. and yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it, guys. Because me and Mom, we both want to be authors, so.
Yeah. And
we are,
Sandra Dallas has some that go back into Civil War times with quilts, and
that's what I thought he was talking about.
In the early 20s. The Elm Creek Quilts is more set in modern times, but they also do go back to the early part of the 20th century, and even before that, she takes you on a journey.
I need to read one because the woman that is teaching her to sew, it sounds like I want to hear the conversations.
Yeah.
No, you just made this half square triangle wrong. Let me teach you.
It's not like that. But they are good books, and I feel like. So
the reason I brought up, I'm thinking, okay, what about quilts in pop culture or film and novels and everything like that? And so that series popped up first. I was curious about that. I'm sure if any of our listeners have read them all, I'm sure, fans of it, maybe that could be a discussion could be started in the comments about why you like them or what they're about, or recommend them to other people. I mean, Chelsea, maybe you want to pick up that series and start reading it, No?
I love it when I see
I'll try book one.
Okay.
Yeah. I love it when I see quilts in movies and just the aesthetic.
And do you sit there and point them out?
Yes.
I'm like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme, like this. I'm just like, oh my goodness, there's a quilt.
Yeah.
But you mentioned pop culture. So there's a lot of I'll randomly walk by and there'll be a Vogue magazine and there's a quilt in the photography. And I'm like, oh, is quilting cool now to mainstream, Or there'll be fashion shows and there'll be quilted skirts or quilted jackets or whatever. And we're seeing that right now. We saw that at Quilt Market last time. But I have a really funny story because when we photographed the quilts for Laguna Sunrise for the Family Favorites book, I was upstairs and I happened to be in one of the children's rooms with Kimberly
So
randomly.
Just a note, we did the photography for that book in a home that we rented.
Yes.
So people were actually living in the home, and they let us use their home for our
and the
photography.
homeowner was there working, but the children were gone.
At school.
Yeah, the wife was gone, and the rooms were really cute. And I happened to be in one of the kids' rooms with Kimberly, and it was really funny because Kimberly goes, I need to know where that there was a quilted quilt on the bed, but she wanted to know if it was actually quilted or if it was from like a company.
Right.
And she went and she whips that quilt open. She's like, nope, it's from a company. It wasn't like made.
Right.
And it was really funny because it was a really cute quilt. And I have seen that company. They are promoting, I follow them on Instagram too, and lots of quilt looking comforters and things like that is part of the vibe right now.
Yes.
And I thought that's really funny. Quilting is like making its way,
Yeah. Well,
into these big companies and
right.
yeah.
And
So
I love Country Home magazine.
Yeah.
There are always quilts on the bed when you look through the beautiful homes that they showcase.
Yeah.
So
cool.
you mentioned when you see a quilt in a movie or TV show.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that. I found a blog online, obviously, her name is Melanie Patch. Okay. And she has a segment of her blog called Quilt Spots. This is what I found interesting.
Oh.
An A to Z list of quilts seen in movies and TV series. So as she's watching films and television series, it looks like she started in 2018. She'll stop it, take a screenshot of a quilt in a movie, and she has it all documented here on a blog.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to put that link in the description.
I want to know.
So you can go through, I mean, there's all different sorts of movies, old movies, modern movies, horror movies. I see there's Dirty Dancing here. There's different TV series that there's a quilt that she has a picture of in Stranger Things. Yeah, I mean,
I know which one that is.
Mom's like, I've watched Stranger Things.
So if you're someone who does, like Chelsea said, you notice quilts, maybe you could go to this list and look at some other ones. Here's one in The Hobbit, The Little Mermaid, Parent Trap. I mean, it's pretty cool. It looks like she hasn't updated it in about a year, roughly, but so I don't know, maybe she gets some traffic and sees.
Yeah.
I'll
She'll like,
leave a
"What
comment
in
and
the
say,
world?"
hey, I'm going to mention this website on our podcast. But I thought that was interesting because there are a lot of quilts featured in films, in television.
Yes.
Obviously, it's typically not like the main thing, but it's there. And for quilters to sort of spot them.
Props to, no pun intended, props to the prop master for, the set person.
Set designers.
Set designers.
Yes.
Oh, let's make this scene look more homey.
Right.
Let's put a quilt on the bed.
Yeah.
But then I did have another question for you guys. Have either of you watched or heard of the film How to Make an American Quilt?
Now that one is on my list.
Okay. Oh, so you haven't watched it, but you've heard of it.
I've heard of it, and it's on my list. And
so it's came out in 1995.
Yes.
It's PG-13, and Winona Ryder is in it. And here's the short description. Bride-to-be Finn Dodd hears tales of romance and sorrow from her elders as they construct a quilt. So I'm guessing it's probably like those flashbacks or whatnot.
Flashbacks,
sewing
as
circle.
they're doing that.
Yeah.
And it's on here as a rom-com drama.
Yeah.
So
No,
you
you
mentioned
that, and then you also mentioned Ken Burns, and I think I've watched all of the Ken Burns documentaries on quilting. They're fabulous.
Yeah. So, and maybe actually we're sort of hitting almost our limit where we were at. Maybe we could save the history part for another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since we sort of did more film and television here. I was one other web blog that I came across, and you've mentioned her before, Barbara Brackman, right?
Yes.
I found another post that she did in 2019 about quilts in movies, and these ones are old ones. They're black and white photos. I'll put that link in there as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's not as extensive as that other one.
Right.
She was more just watching or talking about a movie she had watched called The Miracle Worker from 1962, and she noticed a quilt back there that it's one of her favorite films, and she knows the quilt, so she has a picture of it. And then from Little Women in 1949, there's a quilt that she has a couple pictures of as well that she like is really. It seems like that the quilt really caught her eye, and she went into like looking for other similar quilt patterns from that time period and everything.
Right.
So
yeah,
interesting, right?
I'm sure I read that when Barbara initially posted it, but I'd like to go back and look at it again too. Yeah.
So anyway, I thought we could talk about that, and then there's a whole obviously the history thing. We could do like 10 podcasts on that, but I was going to mention a few of those, but maybe I'll save that for future.
Yeah.
Some stuff I came across. So.
I love it.
Yeah. So we thank you very much for listening and being here. We just want to give a little teaser for our next episode. We have a very special guest. She actually is someone that I've wanted to have on the podcast since we began the podcast.
Yeah.
And
she's incredible.
You are just going to love her and getting to talk to her. She is a dear friend of both Chelsi and me. We both count her as a dear friend.
Yes.
And
she's been there for us a lot.
So excited. And that episode will air on Monday, August 26th.
Yeah.
We're about to go do the interview with her right now.
We're actually
going to talk to her in 25 minutes.
Yeah. So thanks so much for stopping by.